Go. Okay. Hi, Jolene. It's nice to have you back. Are there any kind of issues that you want to talk about before we jump into this session?
Not at this time.
Okay. So at our last meeting, we talked about how you were lonely and having trouble fitting into the community, and how you were turning toward alcohol to cope with this kind of loneliness. Is that something that's still bothering you?
Yeah, I've been drinking 1.5 to 2 bottles of wine while my husband's at work.
Okay. So 1 to 2 bottles of wine. Is it just when your husband's at work, or is it?
Usually.
Okay. Do you think if you weren't feeling as lonely, do you think you'd be drinking as much as what you are, or is that something you've had issues with in the past?
I think that if I wasn't so lonely, that I wouldn't have as many alcohol problems.
Okay. So do you think that's connected to you not having any connections into the community, not really many friends here since you are new to the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anybody to talk to or anything like that.
Okay. What are some of the things that you like to do?
I like to sing, which I don't do very much of anymore. I like to go to church.
So faith is a really big part of your life, and it was a really big part of where you previously lived as well, correct?
Right.
Okay. So, you think that if you would find a place of worship, somewhere where you can fit in and somewhere where you can sing and do more of the things that you like, do you think that that would help you get your mind off of drinking and keep it more occupied?
Yeah, I believe so. Faith has always been a big part of my life. I grew up in church with my parents. They're very strict Christians. We went to church every Sunday, stuff like that.
So faith is really important to you.
Yeah.
It's a real big part of your life. So tell me, what is your faith? If you don't want to go into it, that's totally fine too.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit more about your childhood.
Well, like I said, I grew up, my parents were very strict Christians, and we went to church every Sunday. My dad is quiet, like, just hard-headed kind of.
Okay.
And my mom, she's very faith-based. So I guess I'm just used to that.
Okay. So, in your previous town, were you big in the church there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't mention your husband that he had faith, like he had the same faith as you. Is that something that's an issue?
It is a little bit, yeah. He's never really shown interest in going to church with me.
Okay.
So I would go by myself.
Okay. And now that you're in a new area, you really can't. You don't know where to go, so you can't go by yourself.
Right.
Okay. So that's probably contributing a whole lot to your loneliness. So besides church and faith, tell me more about your hobbies that you like to do outside of church.
I like to, I like to sing, but that goes back to being in church. I like to be outdoors and hike.
Okay. So, have you looked into any type of clubs or organizations for hiking or any kind of outdoor types? Have you researched anything like that?
I haven't.
Okay, that could be a good place to start. And you could you may be able to find friends that you have stuff in common with, and you can even maybe find somebody that has the same faith as you, and then they can show you where to go. Have you researched any type of churches or any that are in the area, or have you seen any that look to be more towards your faith?
Not really. I haven't gotten into that yet. But that's a good idea.
Okay, so for our next session, I'd like for you to try to research just a couple of churches and see what their faith base is, and see if it coincides with yours. You can also look into different clubs and organizations that we have around. At your previous town, was that some place that you grew? That's where you grew up, so you pretty much
Right.
knew everybody, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's a big change from coming from there to here.
Knowing nobody.
Yeah. So,
And it's really not helping with my depression. A feeling of hopelessness, being by myself all the time, because my husband works a lot, so I'm always by myself at home. So that's when the drinking comes in.
okay, so it just kind of keeps your mind off things. And
Yeah.
so tell me about the hopelessness. Tell me how. What do you feel so hopeless about?
I would say just being by myself. I'm blanking.
Okay, so just being by yourself, not really having many people to talk to, or
Yeah.
okay,
It all comes back to just being by myself. I'm not good at being by myself. I never have been. I don't know where to start.
okay, so you're having trouble starting to find friends.
Yeah.
Have you spoke to your husband about this? Does he work alone, or does he work with other people that may have spouses that, since you guys would have something in common, that you could talk to?
I haven't talked to him about it before, but that's a good idea.
Okay.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. You can, you and another spouse can just talk about your husbands and, get close that way.
Yeah.
And then maybe, they can open up that door to other friends and other places. So, Jolene, have you spoke to your family about this? Your mother, maybe she can come down and just give you some company, and you can go out and explore and try to find things that way. Have you tried to do that?
I haven't. I didn't want to bring my mom into it, but it sounds like something that I'm gonna have to do.
Right? Why didn't you want to bring your mom into it?
Because she, I don't want her to judge me,
Okay.
For my drinking. Should I tell her about the drinking?
If it's something that you're not comfortable with, then you don't have to disclose that kind of information. But let's go back to her judging you. Is that something that has happened in the past that just brings up worry now, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Not exactly judgmental, but like I said, she's a very strict Christian, and drinking isn't part of our religion.
So, you think, so that would be the way that she would judge you?
Yeah, I think
Be
so.
the drinking. What about your dad?
I'll probably be comfortable telling him about things.
Is he not as strict as your mom?
No.
No. What about your sisters? You said you had 3 sisters.
Yes, I'm the youngest of 3 sisters.
Okay.
I'm only in contact with one of them right now. But we're very close, and I tell her a lot of things, so she knows everything.
So maybe you can invite her down, and that would be a source of comfort for you. So why is there a drift between your other two sisters?
They're a lot older than me, so we've never had a close relationship.
Okay. So you're just not as close in age
Right.
as you are to your other sister. But do you think that they would be there if you needed them?
Probably.
Okay. So if it doesn't work with your mom or your sister, maybe you can ask your older sisters to come over and just get like a different point of view of things.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
My drinking.
Okay.
I'd like to go back to that because I think that it's becoming a problem.
Okay, so your drinking's becoming a problem. Do you think that it's something that it's got out of control now, or that you just don't have the control over it like you used to?
I have control over it, but it's like when I drink to get drunk.
Okay.
I don't just drink just for the heck of it.
Okay. So you're trying to block out something.
So it's definitely a coping mechanism.
Okay. So do you think that this is a problem that we need to address in like an AA, like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, or do you think it's got to that point, or do you want to try for yourself different coping mechanisms that way?
I would like to try that way.
Okay, so what are some, I know we already spoke about your hobbies, but what are some of the things that you do to de-stress?
Oh gosh. I don't really have any coping mechanisms right now.
Okay, except the drinking.
Other than drinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a couple ways that you can de-stress. Do you like to take baths, things like that, to get your stress level low? Okay, read a book.
I like to go for hikes.
Okay, yeah. You can, being outdoors is a wonderful de-stressing.
And getting sunlight and stuff.
So, maybe when you're feeling the need to drink, you can turn to another different coping mechanism, like a hike, reading a book, taking a bath, something like that. And we'll start off with that and see how that works. Maybe just try it for a couple days and see how strong you can, how much you can push away the drinking with your other kind of coping mechanism.
Okay.
Are there any other concerns? Are you just drinking the wine, or are you thinking about going to something harder, or?
Right now it's just the wine.
Okay.
But like I said, it's 1 to 2 bottles a day.
Are there any like substance abuse or alcohol abuse that runs in your family, anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. So that's a good thing. So let's try the different kinds of coping mechanisms that we talked about.
Okay.
And see how that works. And then if it doesn't work, then we'll come up with another plan. But I have confidence in you that it will work.
Okay.
So does your husband know that you drink?
He does, but he doesn't know the extent of it.
Okay.
And I think he's starting to. So he's starting to worry about me.
Okay. Does it interfere with your daily life, like cleaning? Is it starting to interfere with that? Is that how he's noticing?
Yeah.
Okay. So since it is interfering with that, I was again suggested different kind of coping mechanisms, but maybe just slowly cut it down,
Okay.
so you won't feel as anxious about it.
Okay.
Does any kind of mental health issues run in your family? It does?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind?
Mostly depression and anxiety.
Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with that? Been on any kind of medication for that?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was it?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Okay. And did the treatment that you seeked out, was it, did it help you any?
It did, and I'm currently on medication for depression.
Okay.
And anxiety. So that's probably not good, taking my medicine
Yeah.
and drinking so much.
Yeah. Usually you don't want to mix the two. That could be another possibility of why it's affecting your daily life so much too. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're just going to go over what we talked about today. So we're going to talk about, you said church and faith is a really big part of your life. So we suggest that we talked about going and trying to find different churches that may, like researching different churches to see if they go with your faith and your religion. Talked about maybe finding some clubs or organizations that could that go with your hobbies, the hiking, stuff like
Yeah.
that. We also talked about the different coping mechanisms or de-stressors that you can do. So what were those de-stressors? What did we talk about?
That I could go for a hike, read a book, take a bath, stuff like that.
Okay, you could even sing. I know you said
Yeah.
you mentioned that you like singing.
That's why I want to get back into church too.
Okay.
So I can sing. That's where I got started singing. It was in church.
Okay.
So I'd like to get back to that.
Okay. And you think that being more social and getting into more of a routine with church and things like that will help you become less lonely.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
Not that I can think of right now. We went over everything.
Okay, so again, at our next session, we're going to talk about the different coping mechanisms that you use instead of drinking.
Okay.
We're going to go over if you spoke to your mom or your sisters to invite them over just to help curb that loneliness.
Okay.
And we'll also talk about what churches and what organizations that you have researched, and I'll also research some and give you an idea of that as
Okay.
well. Also, I think maybe talking to your husband some more about your issues and how you're feeling, maybe that will help you to open up more and to feel like somebody's on your side.
Okay. And maybe maybe we can talk about him not working so much.
Okay, yeah, and I understand that that's a big issue, is him working all the time and leaving you alone.
Yeah.
And so talk about that and see how that goes, and then just get back to me at our next session.
Okay.
All right. It's nice having you today.
Thank you.
Thanks.